Hello there, Kyle Katarn here. Let's talk about some comics. First up, we've got Star Wars issue 44 by Kieran Gillen and Salvador Larroca. Right out of the gate, I thought it was really cool that we got to see the Mon Cala planet, especially since we know that the Vader arc is about to take place there as well. So we're going to be seeing this planet from both perspectives, both the liberation with the rebels and the conquering with Vader. So we've got a possible Clone Wars reference with the King of Mon Cala, who could potentially be Lee Cha, who we saw being installed in the later seasons of the Clone Wars. I liked seeing the surface of Mon Cala, however briefly it was, the little islands, and the tidbit about the indigenous plant life being super dangerous and lethal, driving the Mon Cala to live underwater, was a cool little bit of world building. Now, is this a retcon, I wonder? Because I know that in Legends, the Mon Cala lived on the surface islands and the uppermost regions of the planet, while the Quarren, the other species they shared this homeworld with, lived deep in the oceans, near the ocean floors and under the seas. It was pretty fascinating seeing that the Mon Calamari have mixed opinions on Admiral Raddus and his decision to join the rebels early on. You know, some of them applaud him as a hero, but others feel like he kind of abandoned the people to Imperial enslavement after he died at the Battle of Scarif. Hearing them talk about setting up the Mon Calamari merchant fleet was really cool. Ever since Rogue One, when we found out that Raddus' ship, the Profundity, was essentially a city building that had been retrofitted for space combat, I've wanted to see how that extends to the rest of the Mon Calamari ships that join the rebellion. So looks like I'm going to get my answer here. I am excited. And Akbar has made an appearance. We know that he's briefly in the Clone Wars arc, so this isn't the first time we see him in the timeline, but I wonder if he's going to identify any traps in this series. So the other comic we're going to talk about today is Star Wars Adventures issue number 7. So the first story is Endangered, Part 1 by Sholly Fish and Sean Galloway. This Rebels story was definitely the strongest part of the issue for me. All of the Rebels characters' dialogue was written very well, and I heard the voice actors in my head speaking the lines, which is always the hallmark of good comic dialogue, in my opinion. I enjoyed seeing AB5 deliver a version of Solo's "Great kid, don't get cocky." If anyone's going to rain on Chopper's parade, I'm glad it was AB5. The Emperor's personal zoo raises a lot of questions, all of them somewhat ridiculous. And the Acklay was a nice throwback to Attack of the Clones. I was pleasantly surprised to see that thrown in there. And the other story was Look Before You Leap by Paul Curley and Phil Murphy. So this was a significant story to me because it was one of the first canon appearances outside of Battlefront of my boy, Shriv Shragav, the deadliest Duros in the Death Star. I don't know, alliteration's not my strong suit. It's nice to know that Nine Num is a total smartass under all that Celestinese that he's speaking. Probably from hanging out with Lando, have that personality rub off on him a little bit. And the concept of having living islands was pretty neat. Kind of a continuation of the Exogorth from Empire Strikes Back, just on a much larger scale. Cool idea. That's one of the cool things about comics, is that you can get a little silly with it, and you don't have to explain everything away with hard science. It's really a good format for writers to kind of explore very out there ideas, and this was one of them. The creepy shark worm things living on the islands were pretty cool, and for some reason reminded me of Katy Perry's backup dancers. I don't know. That's it for the comics this week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to check out the rest of my channel for more awesome Star Wars content. Leave me a comment if you have a question or something to say, and as always, may the Force be with you.